NFC South team needs this week.
This is a weird division.
Yeah.
Huge offense, huge defense, and two, like...
Yeah, Carolina, New Orleans were head and shoulders above most of the NFC last year. And then Atlanta and Tampa, not so much.
Let's start with Carolina, the team that had the big defense last year. Where do they need to go?
The glaring need here is wide receiver.
Yes.
Where you've got Brandon LaFell and Ted Ginn. Not exactly.
You don't
premier wide
imagine
receivers.
Brandon LaFell like the Super Bowl trophy, Lombardi.
They're free agents, and they can probably be retained on the relative cheap because they're not that great. And then Steve Smith, who there's talk of him being a cap casualty, $7 million against the cap.
Right.
He's 35. He's going to be 35 years old.
Sure.
And by the way, the leading wide receiver on the team had a whopping 745 yards last year.
Yeah, you had to check because it was so unfortunately
I'm like,
low.
that looks low. It is low.
Yeah.
And Greg Olsen led the team in receiving just over 800 yards.
Right.
They need a real wide receiver.
Absolutely do. What else do they need?
How about offensive line? Jordan Gross just retired. They've got basically every position but center on the line. They either have a hole or need to upgrade.
Yeah, and as big as Cam Newton is, protect him as much as you possibly can.
That's
he
smart.
is your future dude.
And worth mentioning too, defensive backs. They're going to get Charles Godfrey back this year from injury, but of their top 5 DBs who played 500 snaps or more, 4 of them are free agents.
Yeah.
Go ahead and restock through the draft.
Build depth at the place where you need to beat New Orleans.
That was
year
the
in
one
and year
hole
out.
in the defense last year. Front seven set.
Yes, New Orleans.
New Orleans, offensive tackle, I'd say, would be the left tackle. They never really found, since Jermon Bushrod left after last season, they plugged in Charles Brown. He got benched, and he's also a free agent.
Not ideal.
So I think left tackle would be a great fit for
the
them.
Taylor Lewan pick during the Mocking the Draft segment.
Makes a ton of sense.
There it is.
And then defensive back, Kenny Vaccaro, Keenan Lewis. Give you one good cornerback,
very
good safety who had a broken ankle. He's been coming back from that.
They can't play 4 positions.
But they need another safety, another cornerback. Roman Harper and Jabari Greer got cut, and Malcolm Jenkins is a free agent. And
as bad as some other teams are in the division, building up the secondary there, you got great receivers in Atlanta, great receivers in Tampa. Just play.
And also that defense, Rob Ryan's defense. There's a ton of blitzing.
Sure.
You need versatile and capable
guys that
secondary.
can play on an island. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. All right, Atlanta. Everything!
Yeah, this is a team that was not very deep last year, and a couple injuries just sank their entire season. Biggest problems is the defensive line. Second worst in the league in sacks, second worst against the run. O.C. Umenyiora, bust of a free agent signing. They need trading up for Jadeveon Clowney would be amazing for them.
They need to call Pete Carroll before their picks. Like, we need offensive and defensive line
and
questions.
And then, yes, of course,
answered.
offensive line. As I went to AtlantaFalcons.com, looked at the depth chart. Horrifying.
It's just a tumbleweed.
It's
rolling across the screen.
They have nothing between center and right tackle. They need some depth there. For
Tampa
sure.
made a fantastic move in getting rid of Greg Schiano.
That's really the biggest step up for them because they have a very good defense.
Right. Absolutely.
The pieces are there. They just need some smart coaching.
I'm a little too in love with Levante David.
He's
too in love.
Amazing.
Yes.
Offensive guard.
Yes.
Carl Nix is in MRSA hell right now. Defensive end. They need a pass rusher opposite Adrian Claiborne, especially in Lovie Smith's defense. And I have to wonder, at quarterback, you've got a whole new front office, new coaching staff. Do they love Mike Glennon the same way that Greg Schiano did?
It feels like they do, at least for the short term. It seems, he'll have Doug Martin back, which will take some of the responsibility away from him. He has the receivers, the defense is good to put them in good field position. They have Glennon for now.
Yeah. Maybe next year they'll invest in a new quarterback.
Maybe next year is the Tampa Bay story.
And maybe next week you'll see another episode of Future Consideration. That's it. Dan watches college football.
Matt's our NFL guy.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.